Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and merciful. Respected brother and sister, my today's topic is Israel-Palestine's conflict. Dear brother, the history of the Israel-Palestine conflicts began with the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. In the 19th century, an Austro-Hungarian Jewish journalist, Theodor Herzl, propagated the idea of a Jewish homeland in Palestine for the Jewish. This idea came to be known as Zionism, which found many followers among the Jews in Europe, where Jews were facing discriminations. Dear brothers, in 1917, the British government announced the Balfour declarations, hoping to gain Jewish support for World War I, which promised the establishments in Palestine a national home for the Jewish people. The British, after the World War, established a colony in Palestine, maintaining that they would rule the area until the Palestinians were ready to govern themselves. This was called Mandatory Palestine, as it was according to the League of Nations mandate. Dear brothers, even before this, there was a massive influx of Jews from Europe into Palestine in the hope of creating their homeland after being expelled from it for centuries. Meanwhile, in the 1920s and 1930s, the Jewish populations increased by hundreds of thousands, facilitated by the British. During this time, tensions between the growing Jewish communities and the Palestinians. In 1936, the Palestinians revolted against the British. This revolt was suppressed by the British with help from Jewish militia. After the revolt, however, the British issued a white paper that limited Jewish immigrations into Palestine and called for establishments of a joint Arab state in Palestine within 10 years. During the course of World War II, many Jews escaping Europe from the Holocaust were brought to Palestine illegally because of immigration's limit by Jewish organizations. Tensions escalated and the British handed over the problems to the newly established United Nations. In 1947, the UN voted to establish separate Palestinians and Jewish state in the regions, dividing Palestine in May 1948. Israel was declared an independent state in 1948. According to Muhammad Ois, a political analyst based in Washington, D.C., he told Al Jazeera that the U.S. policy on Israel's occupations of Palestinian land has been lopsided from 1948 until today, making it difficult to resolve the root cause of the conflicts between the Israelis and Palestinians. Israel's occupied Palestinians' land and is still occupying and annexing Palestinians' land, killing Palestinians. They signed a peace deal with the Palestinians in 1993 and nothing was implemented from it. And Israel continued to annex Palestinians' land and occupying Palestinians' homes. Okay, my friends, see you again with some new topic. Allah Hafiz.